What is up, people of the internet, and welcome to Real Talk. This in-depth series explains the hustle, grind, and shares the thoughts of the people that you may or may not know of. It also gives you the insider look without all that clickbait concept. And like always, if you like anything, then like this. If you don't like it, well then, get out of here. But feel free to show your support to the guests, as well as share your thoughts and comments below. Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Real Talk, featuring the man, the myth, the mustache, Ryan Kablik, also known as Mr.Aquaman.
Oh, government names. Whoa. I didn't sign up for this.
You don't need to sign a release. I'm already using it without your permission. So me and you go way back, about 2.5 years. That's way back. That's way back in esports. Some of these kids aren't even on a team for like 2 months.
Our very first conversation was the literal night of one of my events. That was the very first time that you ever DM'd me on Twitter.
Yeah, that was when you were running that.
DCW.
Was it during the tournament or like right after it?
It was like during closing ceremonies. I got a message saying, "Yo, let's talk."
Yeah, because I think like that was the first time that I seen you. I didn't really follow you playing at all.
There wasn't much to follow.
That one time that so
yeah, that was yep.
But
I remember that.
Besides that, it was the first time, and I was like, "Yo, who is this guy?" And let's figure out how to do something, because the talent that you had at the time, which is a lot less than what you have now, but that time, accurate facts.
Facts. I'm not gonna argue.
That time, then I was like, this guy's got something that's different and unique about him that everybody else doesn't have, and if it's showcased properly, then I think it'll be a huge success.
And it ended up being a mustache.
And that was it. That was it. That was the talent. That was the talent that I'm talking about.
Which was a lot better than our first interaction, which was, please don't beat all my players.
Right. That was when you're actually good at video games.
Well, that was back when my character was good at the game, and I was just carried. Let's be serious.
Well, thank you, NRS, for nerfing his character, so we have to work together.
Thanks, Paulo, if you listen to this.
Besides all that, let's try to get to know who you are, and I guess outside of gaming, because you're sort of known as that emotional voice behind stuff.
I've been absolutely engulfed by gaming, like almost a decade in now, and there's not a lot going on outside of it anymore. That's what's crazy, is how it's completely taken over my life. But yeah, once upon a time I did, and I still kind of do have a life outside of gaming. But yeah, once upon a time, they were completely separate. And yeah, let's get to know that guy. He used to be pretty cool, man. I was just like everybody else, I was getting through life, working. And for the longest time, and I mean the longest time, and I still preach this to this day, that people should do this, which is I was just working and living a normal life, right, and doing this grind, on the side. I was doing it for fun. That's what I like to do. It was a hobby. It wasn't a job. It wasn't a career at the time, at all. And this was when kind of the beginnings of not only the FGC, but esports in general was kind of, it was in its infant stages, hella grassroots. You go to a major, you get third place, and you got your $10 back. Congratulations. That and the trip cost you $400. So those were the days that I grew up in gaming. A lot of stuff I did outside of gaming, especially when I first started getting started. I was a tennis player. Whoa.
Tennis?
No one knows that
Wait, this guy plays tennis?
I don't think anyone knew that
real
about
talk,
me.
though, I used to play tennis a lot, too. Like, people don't think so, but I used to do a lot of spins on balls that would, like, counteract me running and chasing stuff. So I would throw other people off guard, because they would think I would go like a forehand smash, but it was actually, I would cut it so it spun too much off the ground.
Ball manipulation with Big Maze.
That's it. New series coming soon.
When I got out of high school and got through very little college, I don't even remember anything about it. That's how little it was. It was for graphic design.
Oh, geez.
Never used it a day in my life. Never used it a day in my life.
I could get this.
Still don't. And after those days, I was kind of in that, well, what do I do now? So I ended up getting a job, but I also, with tennis, I kind of took tennis to like an intermediate level. I was teaching tennis for the United States Tennis Association.
Uh-oh.
Yep, for a little while, I was a teacher for a lot of kids at the local park in their youth program. And so yeah, I was just trying to kind of figure everything out. I had tennis I loved on the side, and gaming kind of came out of absolutely nowhere. You know, I was a gamer like everybody else. I had the 360. I was in Xbox party chats playing Gears of War and shit. I was going in.
Was that like the first time you started playing video games? Was Xbox?
Online.
Because you're a little bit younger than me.
Yeah, I am. I grew up, and God bless my mother, who is probably never going to hear this, but God bless her. One time, I can't remember the year. I want to say it was 97. I want to say it was 97. We were dirt poor. I don't even know how I got through that part of childhood, but she was working at Wendy's, and I don't know how she could afford it, but she came home one day with a Nintendo 64. She came home with an N64, Zelda Ocarina of Time.
All right.
And I want to say that it was Super Mario 64, I think.
Shout outs to Mom. She made the excellent decision on the games.
Now, this is where the story takes a turn that not a lot of people are going to see coming. She comes home and she just sets it down in the living room, and we all walk up and we go, "Oh shit." And she goes, "That's right. I bought myself
a
Nintendo 64."
She said, "I'm trying to play this Ocarina real quick."
And she said, "I'm gonna play." She said, "When I'm done playing Zelda, you guys can try it."
Oh, gee.
My mom, to this day, loves Zelda more than anything, and I've bought her almost everything Zelda that you can on Amazon, to the point where if you walk into my mom's, if you walk into the front door of her house, there is a Master Sword hanging right to you.
I was about to say, she's got the temple shrine. Like, once you go in the house, it's the shrine just of everything.
Yep. There's a Master Sword right there on the wall. There's an actual working Ocarina right next to. I got everything. But yeah, she came home with that, and she's the one that actually had like my first influence on gaming was my mom. It's just crazy. So that's right. That's where I begun, was on the N64, playing my brother in was it
No Mercy?
NWO Revenge?
Oh,
No
okay,
Mercy.
Okay.
But for some reason, NWO Revenge was the one I remember the most. I remember powerbombing everyone with Kevin.
Do you think that? I mean, you're speaking of wrestling. I'm sure you followed wrestling for a bit. Is that where you think you got like something of your personality from?
Oh, for sure. And that's kind of, well, what comes next was that's a big influence was my mom in gaming, but with entertainment was my grandma. My grandma, who's like 60 years old at the time. She was the one that would order the pay-per-view.
Yep.
Yeah, pay-per-view WWF, every single one. That was her thing. My grandma loved two things in life. She loved Walker Texas Ranger and WWF.
So you took the two and combined them, right?
Yep. Took the two and combined them, and but no, that's where I got my entertainment as a kid was video games through my mom, and kind of the entertainment from my grandma. So yeah, you're right. That actually could have been the stem of something great, because I grew up on the greatest commentary duo of all time, and that's JR and Jerry the King. Well,
Yep.
the greatest duo of all time, and that transcends all casting, I think, ever. Like, how do you beat that, right?
You can't.
Yeah, if a stick were here, he would say, "I cannot beat that."
I cannot.
I found competitive gaming through a really close buddy of mine whose name is one of the funniest things on the damn planet. His name, and he was a tournament player for a long time, and I'll never forget when MLG had to say this over their speaker system. But his name is Sorry I'm White.
Sorry I'm White.
Sorry I'm White. He's a long time close friend of mine, and he got me into Street Fighter. It was at the same time Super Street Fighter 4 had just come out, and so did Mortal Kombat 9. And he was in the Street Fighter, for a while, and followed the competitive scene like barely. We knew what the Evo moment was. That was about it. And he was getting me to play with him, and I hated it. Games were hard as shit. I didn't know what to do. I was mashing buttons. I was a masher like everyone else when they play a fighting game for the very first time. Right?
And you still do that, but go ahead.
Yep. Oh yeah. To this day, there's a reason to it now.
Wake up armor. Set. You chose Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. You're like, do I want to punch people or do I want to rip people's heads off?
Oddly enough, I went with Street Fighter 4 first.
Yeah. Wow.
Over over Mortal Kombat for a while because
Traitor.
he actually talked me. I know. He talked me into going to a GameStop tournament. First tournament ever was a GameStop tournament. God, back in the day, GameStop launches were the shit, right? And they kind of still are.
Dude, back in my day, Blockbuster.
Yeah, they were.
Blockbuster used to do those.
Oh my god.
My first tournament was Judge Dredd, and then also an NBA tournament. That was the same day, and I did both, and I got completely annihilated.
At a Blockbuster.
At a Blockbuster. I don't even know what the prize was because I came in like 8th place. Top 8, first event though.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm lying to your face. I did a Gears of War 2v2 tournament before I got into fighting games at a local mom and pop's game shop, and I played with the owner of the store because no one else wanted to play with me. And my brother, who at the time was like top 100 in the world on Xbox, we ended up beating him, and he didn't forgive me for like 2 months.
But that was good bragging rights though.
Yeah, it was, and we ended up getting second, and I got like $50 for it. So that's like my very first time in a competitive setting. I completely forgot about that tournament until just now.
Solid.
And I loved the thrill of like being there and competing. Nervous as shit, missing every shot. I think my only kill was a grenade that I randomly planted on the map. Like, no skill at all, right? No skill at all.
Still applies.
And, yep, still applies to this day. And so Street Fighter came out. My buddy convinced me to go to the launch, play in this tournament, and I again mashed some buttons, I beat nobody. But I really enjoyed the spirit of it. Being there, competing against others, and it was a good way to meet people.
Right.
Met a lot of local people, and so after a while, they ended up doing a couple of tournaments at GameStop. The regional manager was putting together a little circuit, and I was starting to get heavy into MK9, and my buddy goes to testyourmight.com.
Awesome website.
Which at the time was the home of our scene.
Of anything NRS.
Yep. Of anything
there was
NRS.
no Twitter. There was no Discord.
No Discord, no Twitter, no nothing. It was Test Your Might. And my buddy found this thread of someone in our area that was hosting casuals at his house. And
kind of creepy, but that's actually how it all starts.
That is exactly how it all starts.
Like I used to go to some kid's house and play Halo events just as a house, and he had like 40 people in there. I'm like, what the hell?
And that's exactly what happened. Is I went to this guy's house, and it was it was kind of in a shady part of town. So I was like, oh my god, we're getting. But no, it was not crazy. And his name was Blackula, and he was actually like considered like he is considered kind of an OG, but he was one of the top players in the country at the time. And it was crazy. We met him, and that's when it all began for me as far as competing, because he was the one to kind of bring us into the competitive aspect of it. Actually show us tournaments, show us top players, and it, like I said, it just all fell into place right there. I fell in love with with everything about tournaments and competing. Everything. It was fantastic.
And then eventually they move on to other areas if they're like curious enough to figure out like, should I run tournaments? Should I, what else can I do outside of playing the game?
It took years for me to get there, but some people don't get there at all. They're perfectly fine with just competing. But I'd gone to enough events that I was like, man, this streaming stuff is really cool. Or, the whole bracketology behind it was really cool, and this venue is really cool, and I want to get involved.
Right. And then, TCW was born,
Yep. Then you try it yourself, and you're like, "Fuck, it's expensive."
And you did how many? Did you do only 1 year of? No, you did 2 years of TCW, right?
I did 2 of them. Yep. One of them was massive. We had like 140 something for MK, year 1, and then it was a lot smaller second year, like around 60, 70.
Right. Usually that's how games digress or decrease visibility.
But they were, especially year 2. Year 2 got more praise for a stream than I'd ever seen ever, because of the quality of the stream and the fact that there was 0 downtime between matches, which is what everyone liked about it.
That's when I hit you up, I believe, was the second year, because I seen the production value behind it, and I was like, wow, this is actually really good. And then the on-air personalities that you had weren't like the ones that people. They were more homegrown type of feel, right? Like you're like, oh, who's this guy?
We had all these people that never got a chance, it's kind of like that to this day too, where it's getting harder for casters to get a chance, to really showcase themselves. But it's also on them for not putting themselves out there, I think, because there definitely are opportunities. They just want to go into the deep end first, and they're afraid to cast something small. And if I can give some advice right now, it's that take as much opportunity as you can to like practice more and get more for you to look back on and to reflect on, or to build a because every single person's looking for a casting reel now, and if you don't have one, then you're kind of screwed. So you need to put the time in. It's just like building a resume for anything else.
Right. It's kind of like along the same lines as like a college degree nowadays, right? It's like you need these requirements to do this, even if you're the best. It's crummy, but like you said, you build that resume behind you and then utilize that to like a portfolio of sorts.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's and me getting into casting was, I had done it for a while before you even reached out to me, just randomly at majors, right? Just randomly getting on the mic because no one else would, and I was god awful. God awful, but I really enjoyed doing it. Still applies to this day. I don't know why people like me. I go back and listen. I'm like, I sound like shit. It's just that transfer of energy, I think, with me that separates me from a lot of people. There really is a transfer of energy from how I'm perceiving what I'm seeing to what you're seeing from home, and like if I'm enjoying it, chances are I think you're gonna enjoy it too.
Right. Yeah. Do you think people don't give enough credit to like actually like talking about the game as it's going on? And then also, people don't know a lot of the behind the scenes where you're getting fed knowledge, or you're hearing something where you gotta wrap it up, or like different audio cues in your ear, or even visual cues.
Oh man, that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to done. And I forget this conversation with you was when we did that Injustice Pro Series finale on Disney and ESPN not too long ago. Different. I'm used to getting certain cues from the production managers that I'm used to working with, and production like you're like even yourself just putting a message in Discord, something like that, to try to tell me, hey, shut the hell up,
shut up and invite these people already. Jeez.
Yep. Yeah. No, it was a little bit of a different monster when you're in the middle of a thought that you're used to being able to complete your thought and go on forever, just to fill dead air. That's what most Twitch broadcasts are, is just filling dead air.
Right, and then it's and then you gotta keep your thought going at the same time, right? It's
yep. But with that, it was okay. This is happening. You have 35 seconds. Go.
Right.
And I'm like, what? I have to summarize why Sonic Fox is the greatest fighting game player of all time in 35 seconds before this commercial break.
That's esports player ever.
This was pre Game Awards esports player of the year, but I still called him the GOAT. I want that on record.
Record shows.
And there's actually an aspect that you didn't even touch on, that I got the cast. It was like KIT and a couple of people got the cast with me for a long time, and I'm going like it's no problem because I've been doing it for way too long, for way too many hours in a day, Maze. And I'll blame you on that. Fucking dude. Do you remember? Okay, I'm gonna go off and on topic because that's what I do.
Go ahead. Put it off the topic. Let's
go. Do you remember when we were doing Cross Up and Kombat Cup like when one weekend? So
yes, on a Saturday it was KI, and on a Sunday it was Mortal Kombat.
I was putting in like 30 fucking hours a week in just casting. Like it was like 4 or 5 shows a week at the top of my lungs casting,
and all different games too.
Yep, all different games, and that really got me to where I am, was putting that grind in of getting my voice down, getting the confidence down, because you were there. Maze was there with me. I fucked up 8 billion
of times, but from every mistake.
That's right. And I have to give again Maze some credit here. He was actually in Discord in all caps, just like Goonie. He was in there going, get hyper. Like he was like,
yeah,
like more.
This is the last set of the night. 6 hours in, I need to see this hype.
More energy. He just kept feeding me more energy, and I brought that energy fucking up every single time. And so yeah, it was putting in a lot of time, and not a lot of people know that it can really wear you out. Casting can. Oh my goodness! If you go like six hours or even 10 hours in a day of casting, your body just shuts down. And I actually had that happen to a couple of people that I casted with, and they were like, I didn't realize how tired you get afterwards. And I'm like, dude, you put out so much energy, and I do. I'm dumping out everything. It's insane. That's why at most events, everyone that listens to this that actually sees me at events knows that after I'm done casting, I go to my hotel room and pass the fuck out.
I know
Like,
that firsthand. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I just did 4-hour block. All right, see you later.
I'm gone, man. I go right back to the hotel. I chill. That's why I don't go out and party with you guys. But filling dead air, keeping people entertained while nothing is going on is very hard to do. It's just not easy to do. And when I go back and watch old tournaments, even of myself and things like that, that's really something to look out for. Is watching viewer retention during downtime. Things like there's a lot that goes into it, and now it just comes naturally for me. But when I watch other casters, that's something I like to critique. Is kind of filling dead air. How good's the back and forth, and there's a lot of little things, but it's not as easy as people think. Is to answer your question, is that it's definitely not as easy as people think. And I know that some of us make it look easy, but that's because we've been doing it for too long. I felt like I've been talking way too much, but again, that kind of comes with.
Nah, that's what this thing is about. It's to tell your side of the story, not mine. I'm just here.
Listen, Maze knows I can talk.
Unfortunately. We heard you talking. What do you do regularly? What's like your daily grind? Like, what do? You wake up,
wake up, depending on how the diet's going. I'll
yeah, let's revert a little bit, right?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you got me on keto, bro. Like
keto.
You and Ricky Rao changed my lifestyle. Where I saw you guys doing it, I was like, man, if these guys could do it, I want to see what this is about too. And literally, I took advice from you. You're not an expert, but the stuff that you were doing was obviously working. And then it actually changed my life. So thanks for that, because I'm still on that right now, and I'm down like 57 pounds, and I don't even exercise. So
that's fucking amazing to hear.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. But how did you get started on the keto thing? Like, were you just like, yo,
yeah.
We both know how the sitting down on a job life goes for so many years, right? Because we did it with streaming.
Yeah.
Literally, we just sat around, did ideas, sent out emails, and whatever else,
and ate really well.
Right, and this was the way for you to change that factor and get away from that office lifestyle, I guess, right?
It was, and how I got into it was almost the same way you did. I saw someone, and that's what it took, because I'd known about keto for a very long time. And people have been preaching it to me for a long time. But it wasn't until I physically saw a buddy of mine transform completely to the point that I couldn't recognize him, and change his life entirely because of it. And once I physically saw that and saw the results, and it was someone that I knew and trusted, and talking to him really, really made me go, this is worth a shot. And after only a month, I was like, holy crap. Weight was dropping off, and I was starting to feel a lot better. At the time, I was having really bad back problems because of my weight. And
I'm going to hold the joke. Go ahead.
Oh God. Oh my God. And I was borderlining high blood pressure. Now I have zero back pain. My blood pressure has been completely regulated. I'm down almost 60 pounds. We're actually at about the same amount as far as weight loss. I'm definitely loving keto, the lifestyle, the food. The food's fantastic, and it just makes it easy. And not a lot of people have the stones to try it. And I will say that when you do, it's fantastic, and you're gonna feel a lot better. And like I said, it's so many people that have certain things. High blood pressure is one of the biggest ones, and cholesterol too. It helps with a lot of things.
Right, it's not even like it's different than anything else, right? You're still eating majority of the same things.
Mm-hmm.
You're
just cutting out.
The problem is you got to cook. If you don't know how to cook, or you're used to fast food life, then this is probably not going to work for you. But if you can cook like eggs and bacon, that's literally 90% of the time.
There you go. Listen, if you like bacon, keto's for you.
Yeah, bacon and cheese, keto is for you.
That is, bacon and cheese is a lot of what I eat. My normal day would be to try to start off with some food. I've been struggling with that lately. So just to give you guys a real insight to my life, I've really been struggling eating until the evenings, which means that I'm unintentionally doing another diet called intermittent fasting, which is where you go prolonged periods without eating, and you like you go 14 hours without eating, and then you eat a big meal. And a lot of people lose a lot of weight that way. So I think I'm unintentionally doing that, and I might have to just try to see if I can do that. Yeah, and that's supposed to be the most effective diet, is a mix of intermittent fasting and keto. So I'm gonna look into that for January. But I like to start off my day with now, and because I've lost a lot of weight, I love going for morning runs now.
You're a runner.
It's fantastic. Yep, I'm turning into a runner. My body doesn't like it. I don't like it, but it feels good. And usually, nowadays I'm trying, the Twitch grind.
Yeah, man, this guy, the reaction that you're getting right now is pretty tremendous, in my opinion.
Yeah, people seem to not hate me, which is a really good quality to have.
Well, it makes one less, right?
Yeah, one less. I've only got a few, and one of them's on the phone call.
Facts.
But yeah, I've just been kind of set up for the day and doing really long streams of Mortal Kombat, and I'm not even doing anything crazy. I try to be like, and I'm not trying to boast or anything. I'm trying to be a man of the people, and that I try to get everyone involved, and I try to make it about the scene. I try to make it about them, not myself, because I'm not like that. I'm not even that good. So for one, why would I be?
Another fact.
Yep, another fact. I'm not afraid to hit myself with it either.
And I think that's why people like you, because you're not afraid of.
I'm what, selfless? I'm not afraid to make fun of myself. I'm not afraid to lose. I'm not afraid to okay, and people call me out for this. I'm not afraid to give others credit ever, which is what a lot of people struggle with. Listen, I failed a long time ago, so I have nowhere else to go but down.
It just comes natural to me now. I fail all the time.
Yeah. It just comes natural to me, and yeah, I think people really enjoy the fact that I honestly have fun no matter what happens.
Right. You use it as an entertainment factor.
Yeah, I use it as entertainment. If I get bodied by someone I have no right losing to, I give them full credit, and I just like to have fun, and they've earned it.
The thing that I laugh about is like when you commentate. Oh, that was a pretty good job. Oh, that was pretty good. Like when somebody's doing something against you.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty good.
Sure. That all stemmed from when I streamed on Twitch during Mortal Kombat, like early Mortal Kombat, when ESL was big, and I would stream my ESL matches. And that was the first thing people noticed, was I was the only person to ever give my opponent credit, like in the middle of a fight. Like I'll get hit by something and go, "Oh fuck, that was so good," and people really like that. And I've noticed that in Twitch chat too. They're like, "Dude, did you just compliment the guy that destroyed you?"
Yeah.
As he was destroying you, and I'm like, "Yeah,
he's better than me. He did something better to me."
Yeah. I'm like the fucker took a risk with down 4 overhead. Yeah, I'm gonna give him some credit. That was ballsy. And it's just like casting, and it's that transfer of energy to the viewer.
What are some of the goals that you're trying to achieve?
What am I trying to achieve? This year.
I mean, unless you're not trying to do anything, which is fine.
Yep, that's I think that's the goal for all of us. Is to
just do whatever and see if it works.
Yep. I would love, honestly, to piggyback off of how I ended Injustice 2, as a caster, and really pick that up in MK11, because Mortal Kombat. If you guys hear me cast Injustice 2 and like it, trust me when I say that it's another level with Mortal Kombat, because the game naturally brings more out of you, I think.
Right. There's more of an already hype factor of it.
Yeah. I think
it's more of a nostalgia feeling, but
nostalgia. The game itself is quicker. The action's more brutal. I mean, I really want to commentate MK11. I'm just gonna say that. That's definitely a big goal, is to commentate MK11. Going here into 2019. And definitely continue the Twitch grind going into MK11 as well. Simply because I want to. Again, being kind of selfless, I want more people to play our game, and I want our scene to grow, because without growth, we're stagnant. We're not going anywhere.
Right.
And that's something that we tried for a long time. And our job was, well, with War of the Gods, we kind of hit it out of the gate, but even with Combat Cup, we were just trying to play the retention role of not losing so many people.
Right. And what people don't understand some of the times, we took a game that was like 2 years over already, and tried to make something out of it. It turned out pretty well, even on a different platform, which we knew was going to cause a lot of obstacles of sorts. But we actually, and I think we entertained pretty well in a game that was already old enough, or the esports cycle of that game was already gone.
Absolutely, and we ended up setting. I think we unintentionally. Well, kind of intentionally. I think we unintentionally set some standards for how an online tournament should be in this scene too, which even to this day has been hard for, I think, even the official circuit to keep up with. I mean that's just how kind of high we set the bar.
I don't think we set the bar. I think we just elevated it to another level.
I do have to give a lot of credit to the ESL Pro League, because that was some shit.
Right, so kind of like how we were, we piggybacked off what they're doing and fixed all the mistakes in our eyes. And then what that ended up doing was making it a lot easier for the player base to like just fly through stuff, right? And then the constant communication between, because we did this all remotely. People don't know that.
God.
We weren't in the same place at the same time. We started off where you used to run streams on your laptop. Dude. Before we even got to the studio.
I'm gonna have a ceremonial burning of that laptop after tomorrow, by the way.
Bro, that laptop survives good enough. Like, we were doing Kombat Cup Season 1 off of your laptop and my computer. I had a great computer, but my internet was crap. You had a decent laptop, and your internet was good. So it was kind of like a struggle. If one of us didn't have power, we were done.
It went out a few times, and it got.
It did, and then I had to throw a stream together, threw all the overlays on it. I was like, all right, we're going.
Yeah, we really started from. Looking back, it was a operation. All right, we had all of us at Discord call. We had, oh my God, we were using Skype at the time.
We were using Skype at the time.
Never again, please. Never again. Yeah. Thank you, Discord, for adding that, and thank you to what we eventually started doing, which makes it even easier. But yeah, we really started with the most ragtag operation, and it still turned out good, and it was very entertaining. And like I even right before we had this the show, I talked about seeing like old Kombat Cup on YouTube, and looking at it and going, oh man, that was cool.
We came a pretty long way.
Pretty cool.
I mean, that was like 2.5 years, right? That we did that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
It's pretty sad, but I mean, hopefully we can allow to do it. What we've done with the same team.
Yeah, we have the official end of our run with Kombat Cup and War of the Gods coming to a close, and we've been in constant talks, and we're eventually gonna have to pull the trigger at some point on something. But the team that created War of the Gods and Kombat Cup will want to continue it and bring it not only to possibly even another level, but just to potentially a bigger audience, and just to continue what we do, because at the end of the day, we love doing it.
Even though we're getting paid already, I don't think we were doing it for money. We were doing it as more of a hobby and a loyalty 100%. I mean,
it's especially after you would think after a couple of seasons, and even when visually seeing a rapid decline in entrants and viewers, and we still wanted to keep going.
Right. Yeah, it was a struggle sometimes to have the conversations that we'd had, but somehow it kept on
trucking along. And I gotta, if anyone's watching this that watched any of those programs, thank you so much, because that really did mean a lot to us. That's why we did it.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did. We did it for the regular person that just wants to watch something that's entertaining in a game that they might have interest in or love.
Let me get a frogger in the chat, please. Thank you very much.
Let me get a frogger.
Get a frog in the chat.
We created so many emos there.
There's a lot of memes that we had over the years that were fantastic. Yeah, but Maze did definitely we definitely got to do something.
NRS, hit us up. Let's talk. Let's have one conversation. That's all I think we'll need. You guys seen our track record.
Talk to us. Have a conversation with us.
It's only a 4-man crew.
We're cheap as hell. You can literally pay Maze with a chicken sandwich. I've seen it.
Chicken sandwich, no bread though. That's that keto life. How do you feel about like the current esports world? Like, what are your thoughts about like I know you dabble a lot in different areas. Like you look at other stuff. So how do you think like the NRS especially?
I honestly, and I this actually may differ from what you think, Maze. I don't know if you've had this conversation. I think that the number one thing that this particular scene needs, this is my number one personally. This is an opinion, all right, is that we need more people playing and more entrants because at these tournaments, you know, it doesn't seem like no matter how much money they put into it, you know, we're not getting the best air slots or time slots. We're not getting prime times, little things like that. I think that more people need to play our game to get better exposure, and to grow. I think but how else are we going to grow if the same people are playing the game and the same people that are playing the game are not helping it grow?
Do you mean that by like personality wise, or?
Yeah, and there's a lot that goes into that, and I also do mean that personality wise. I try to preach to our top players that you guys need to step your game up when it comes to engaging, with the community. And by community, I mean the people watching from home, the people that are hesitant to come out to an event. They need to be that
right, the positive influence.
That, yes, come out, because that positive is because I know for a fact that I know guys that are of the complete opposite mindset, because they think that why would they try to get more people to play this game when that's more people that they would potentially have to beat to get to earn the money.
Right.
And I think that mindset kind of hurts us, but I also do respect that at the end of the day, someone trying to get paid. So yeah, that's just where I stand on where I feel we need to go. Is I think that we just need more people to grow. And like I said, to get the bigger exposures at events and to just to get bigger.
I guess I feel the same way, but I think it's more on the other end, on the behind the scenes end of stuff. I think that has to,
the official circuit,
especially communication, has to improve 100%. And I think right there, I think that's the biggest struggle of why there's not more teams in the scene, because there's no esports plan, right?
Yep.
I think if a plan was known ahead of time, and I hope they do it with this game that's coming out, that it'll increase the visibility to other people that say, hey, these guys actually have a legit esports plan for several years, not just the first 6 to 8 months.
And then announce the second one the month before it happens.
Right. It could just be like, say PUBG just did it, right? They released a 2 or 5 year plan, right? They didn't even host an event until about 3 weeks ago, but the plan is already laid out for the next 2 years, and people know what's going to happen in those 2 years. So I think if you have like a basic plan of, all right, this is what's happening for the first year, and it doesn't even need to be set dates, it could be like months, like February is the first qualifier or whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. I think if they come up with that official game plan, then I think more people will put eyes onto the scene, because right now it's kind of like, all right, you're going to Combo Breaker, you're going to CEO, you're going to Evo, and then what else, right? What other little events in between? To me, little events, it's just not that on a different scale, I think, than those three. But it's like, what else is in between? And then also, what else is after? Like, what do I need to know that I'm going to be doing in November? Because that's usually where the first game cycle of the competitive world ends, right? If it comes out, it's usually 6 to 8 months later, but there's no what's next. Yeah. And I think if you install a longevity of the game before launch, I think that will allow people to be more intrigued in competing, or even looking into it.
Yeah, to touch on that kind of goes with, and now that I think about it, kind of what I was saying, which was, we need more people, but you're absolutely right in that we simply just need more people to know about it. And if any of the rumors are true that have kind of been circulating around in that, I remember having these conversations with you, you bringing this up in one of your billion rants about what's wrong with everything. Which
straight opinions, though.
Yeah, which was in game. Have it just like you see the PUBGs and more specifically to the fighting game community. And I got to give them a shout out on this because I think it was friggin' awesome. You were Brawlhalla? everyone that logged into Brawlhalla or everyone that logs into Brawlhalla can see the esports on the main menu.
Right. Yeah, dashboard integration is highly needed at this.
Yeah, again, it gets that literally hits everyone playing your game.
Like, we know majority of the streams are on Twitch, so I mean it's easy to get that integration between Twitch and PlayStation or Xbox at that point. Well, more so with PlayStation, not so much.
Yeah,
with Xbox,
or
but...
even a simple advertisement of, hey, this event's coming up at this time. Click here. Whoop, take you to the website.
Yeah, I think just more knowledge before the first event is needed, because like right now people don't know if it's on Xbox or PlayStation, and it would give them enough time to change and to learn the different patterns and whatnot on a new controller for the people that didn't convert already over from when it was Mortal Kombat on Xbox.
Oh yeah, those 360 days. There was that.
Yeah, I think it's just more communication that needs to be put out there. It doesn't even need to be like set in stone stuff, like just this is what we're thinking, guys, and then get a feedback from that and then use that to create the actual document or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's a great insight as to I think where we need to go. You know, even if it's not participating, watching, right? Getting the viewer numbers up on these events, because that if numbers are big enough, big things are going to happen.
Right. I think, especially with Mortal Kombat, we talked about this, and I've talked about this with other people. There's the same television opportunities are not going to be able to be there because of the blood and gore from Mortal Kombat, unless they do something to change that, like a tournament mode that shuts all that off, which, I mean, I'm not opposed to. I know it's Mortal Kombat, but I'm not opposed to if it helps broadcast the game to another level, right?
That's right. If it means ESPN, right?
It's more along the lines of it helps make the game more marketable. Outside of being already Mortal Kombat, everybody knows what Mortal Kombat is. There's several other factors that go into that, but I think that's step one. Like communication directly to the player base, which is going to unfold already to the community.
And you know what? They are some of my favorite people in this scene. You know, even if they just lurk, they're always watching, they're always interacting, and they're really good. You know, like I said, not everyone is going to be a tournament player, not everyone's going to be a pro, but just being a part of the scene, I think, is something special.
But jeez, that was a long rant.
Guys, and you know what? This episode could have easily been like a week long of us just sitting here talking.
Probably. So in a couple of years, what do you see yourself doing? Are you playing again, or are you being that Kodo main?
I honestly think that, well, so many people ask me if I'm going to get back into the competitive spirit, and I honestly think that I've reached the point where I know that I'm not going to be that good again. You know. So
you're the best mid carder.
I think that I think that I may try, you know, here and there, but especially at these big events, especially if I'm involved like I was with the Injustice Pro Series, I'm not going to get the chance to, you know, simply because I'll be working. And if that's the case, you probably won't see me compete as much. I may try to do some online stuff, but mostly just playing to learn so I'm knowledgeable enough to cast and to be able to still on occasion beat somebody's ass, because let me tell you guys, there's no better feeling than when I play one of these young kids and surprise them. That's actually one of my favorite feelings. Like I'll never forget, even though I still get whooped pretty bad. Like for instance, I played Rewind literally the morning after he won Evo in a hotel room, and we were just shooting the breeze, and I don't think I've ever played him in my life. And we were playing, and I did some shit, and he was like, and he was surprised. He's like, bro, you actually good? And so like it's like that moment, that moment right there, like I'm gonna hold on to that moment, right? And there are a lot of guys that come onto my stream that, oh man, I beat someone really bad one time, and he was like, dude, I thought you were a caster.
Yeah, but you could throw that OS on there.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. Like
you'd be like, yeah, bro, I'm just a caster if I lose.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm like, bro, you need to level up if you're losing to a caster. Like, no, I still get that competitive edge, and I still have that competitive feeling. I also really enjoy casting, and I really enjoy the behind the scenes stuff. It's like 50-50, but I don't think I'm going to try to be, you know, that guy of trying to win and trying to place, and nah. I don't know.
Everything's a 50-50 in NRS, then I guess.
Everything is a 50-50. That is right. If there's one thing that we can teach you is that life is a 50-50. Prove me wrong. Life is a 50-50. You're either alive or you're dead.
I got no comment on that. I guess that's it's pretty straightforward. Right. Any last thoughts for anybody that's been listening to this? Listen to you rant about absolutely nothing for the last 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever. How long were we going?
If you guys tune into my stream, it's the same exact thing. I rant about absolutely nothing for like 7 hours straight and have some fun playing Mortal Kombat. But yeah, if there's anything I can tell you guys, it's if you're listening and if you have any doubts whatsoever in the back of your mind about ever becoming a part of this community and just esports in general, but do it. Trust me, I did it, and wouldn't change anything for the world. And I know Maze kind of feels the same, where like Maze was doing it before I was, but he got in, and it's hard getting out, Maze. There's something addicting about gaming and competitive gaming that I can't really describe. Can you?
I could describe the reason why I do it. It's probably not the same reason as you. It might be the same, but just in a different aspect. I do it to help out other people, to create opportunities for other people.
Exactly, and that's.
I'm not even trying to take credit, but such as yourself, I put you onto an opportunity where you increased a lot of stuff that you were doing, and then we worked together, and then you're onto other stuff that you probably didn't envision yourself to do.
Okay, and I'm gonna prove Maze's point by saying one thing. And that is that I got all the credit for most of what Maze did. That goes to show you how. And every time I tried to tell Maze or say anything about it, he was usually like, "Oh, that's okay. I'd rather be in the shadows anyway." That's it.
I'm a shadow.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy that Maze is, and 100%. That's the feeling that I've gotten from you this entire time. And that's why I try to apply it to everyone else too. That's why I ran my own events, was because I loved the opportunity that it gave people, and the satisfaction I got out of it was simply, putting on something that I could put my name on and say I did that. And
yeah, I think that reverts back to building a resume type of scenario, right?
Yeah,
it all just goes back where you can put your name on something that people might give you a greater opportunity in.
Yeah. And even if it doesn't, you can say you did it, and it's a good feeling when you can say that you've done something in this space.
Right. So take this podcast, for instance. I'm letting people know more in depth about people that I've interacted with. Like, I didn't even know that you played tennis, bro. Like, I'm still blown away by that. And next time I see you, bro, we jumping on that court.
I was a 3.5.
I trained Serena Williams.
I didn't see that coming. Yeah, I've really got nothing else to say except for thank you to everyone that, for one, listened to this podcast, and definitely follow Maze. The man does so much.
Don't follow me. Follow the people that we're talking to.
Nah, fuck that. Let's give Maze a little credit for it. But yeah, just thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to us shoot the breeze. And I know I definitely speak on our behalf when I say that we definitely hope to see you again soon for some cool things. Yeah,
me too. Where can people find you at right now? If they trying to keep up with the mustache man himself.
Ooh. If you guys are trying to keep up with me, I'm incredibly active on two things, and that is Twitter and Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Mr.Aquaman, spelled out because someone took it. MisterAquaman. And
come on, Twitter. Help this guy out.
And on Twitch, where someone else also took just Aquaman because I'm not original enough. Oh man, thank God we didn't get into the story of why I got my handle, but
we already know about it.
That's for another day. I like Aquaman.
And you probably talked to fish.
End of the story. Twitch.tv/MR_Aquaman. And I stream there almost every day for like 7 hours. Mortal Kombat, good times, and that's it. Thank you so much.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Finally, you were supposed to be my first guest, but it ended up being my third guest.
Well, when you're Hollywood,
I guess, right? I can't. I gave this man gigs, and I still can't get time. Jeez, I gotta go sub to him for him to pay attention to me now. Everybody should go sub to this man right now. I think it's $4.99 on Twitch. You can use Twitch Prime too. Go check that out.
Absolutely.
All right, Ryan, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you, everybody, for watching that's been chilling with us this whole time. And if you liked it, hit the like button. If you want to hit subscribe, do that too. That'd be cool. And I'll see you guys on our next episode. Take care.